I am a highly sensitive person, and I come from a long line of highly sensitive people. But until recently, none of us even knew that we were highly sensitive. We had no idea that we were HSPs. Instead, we were called shy or picky or difficult. We were called too sensitive or overly emotional or even antisocial. All we knew was that the things that bothered us, no one else even noticed. And so it felt like there was something wrong with us, like we weren't made right. And so what did we do? Well, we withdrew from the world. My father withdrew into his job. My grandmother withdrew into her home. My great-grandfather withdrew into his poetry. And for most of my life, I withdrew too. And it's still my natural tendency. So if I get overwhelmed, I just want to go home and shut the door and be in my own space and read books, because reading is my happy place. I go somewhere else where I don't have to be here, and I don't have to be me, and I don't have to think about anything. But I don't want to lock myself away forever. There is too much I want to do. And also, I'm the mother of a highly sensitive daughter who is looking to me to understand how to manage her sensitivity. That's why in this video, I want to share with you 3 of the most important lessons I've learned about being a high sensitive. Keep watching. So I only learned about this trait of being a high sensitive about 5 years ago, but I grew up hearing stories about my dad as a kid. So as a kid, my dad was really sensitive to anything new. So he hated new clothes because they were so stiff and scratchy. He was super picky with food, and he couldn't stand strong smells like the smell of onions or perfume or even daffodils. As a kid, he was slow to talk, and even then he wasn't much of a talker. So he was the one who preferred just a few good friends over being the life of the party. Now, in that era, a kid who required extra care and attention because of his sensitivity was a burden, because parents had work to do. They didn't have time to coddle anyone. They needed their kids to toughen up and just get on with it. It breaks my heart now to think about it. You know, you've got all of these highly sensitive kids learning that their sensitivity is a flaw. People just thought they were trying to get extra attention by making a fuss over nothing. But today, we know that high sensitivity is not nothing. It's actually built into the architecture of the brain, and it's a superpower possessed by about 15% of the population. My father had a trait that his mother had, and that I believe her father had, which he would pass down to his daughter and his granddaughter. It's a trait known as sensory processing sensitivity. And it's got a strong evolutionary advantage because people and animals with this trait can spot subtle signs of danger well before anyone else. Oh, and yes, animals can be highly sensitive too. It's actually been found in over 100 other species. So how would my father have grown up differently if his parents had known that his sensitivity was actually an evolutionary advantage? I believe that knowledge would have changed his life. So here are 3 lessons that I wish all highly sensitive people knew. Lesson number 1, being highly sensitive does not mean that you're broken. So many years ago, I was dating a man that I would end up being with for quite some time. And on one of our early dates, he took me to this art house theater that was playing this classic movie set during the Holocaust. And it was one of those heart-rending tearjerkers. I mean, because it's the Holocaust, right? And after the movie finished and we walked outside, I remember feeling so emotional. And I managed to hold it back until we got in his car. And then he asked me what was wrong. And it was too much. And I ended up crying in front of him for the first time. Now, this would have been a lovely story if it had ended there, because he held me and I felt comforted. And I thought that this emotional moment had deepened and strengthened our relationship. But that's not where the story ended, because When we broke up years and years later, he told other people the story of that night. And he said, I should have known something was wrong with her then. Today, I know that highly sensitive people often react that way to movies where there's a lot of violence or pain. So today, I know that my reaction was totally normal for an HSP. But back then, I didn't know. And those words of his were really cutting. Being a highly sensitive person does not mean that something is wrong with you. It means that you have access to deeper layers of experience that not everyone has. And that brings us to lesson number 2. Being an HSP is not something that other people necessarily understand, and so you have to talk about it. People who know nothing about high sensitivity will often label high sensitives as overly emotional or irrational or demanding, although sneer, oh, you're being such a woman. They'll say that you're making a big deal out of nothing, that you're reacting to things that aren't there, that you're just making things difficult on purpose. And that can really hurt. So learn more about the brain differences between HSPs and other people, and take it on yourself to educate people. Because once people understand that your brain can sense subtleties that most brains can't, and that this increased sensitivity can actually overload your brain, they're often a lot more accepting. And finally, lesson number 3, learn to love your sensitivity and respect it. This is the lesson that I wish my father had learned as a boy, and it's the most important lesson I believe I can teach my daughter. It is okay to get overwhelmed, and it's okay to need a quiet, still place to calm down and recharge. And it is okay to not like violence. I still prefer movies made for kids because at least I know there will be a happy ending and I won't finish the movie feeling absolutely devastated. And that does not mean that there is something wrong with me. It just means that now I honor my sensitivity. So honor your sensitivity and get comfortable setting boundaries. You don't have to push through. You don't have to tolerate people who shame you for feeling the way you feel. And always make sure that you've got a safe haven to retreat to where you can center yourself and you can recharge. Because your sensitivity is a superpower, even if it doesn't always feel that way. If you would like to learn more about being a high sensitive, I am going to put up a link to my interview with Julie Biella next. Julie is a psychotherapist who has a ton of resources for the highly sensitive person. And keep an eye out for my next video where I will be talking about the 3 things that highly sensitive people need to know before they fall in love. Take really, really good care of yourself, and I will see you next time.